Okay, this is your box. Okay, you can scroll it. This is the a bit about your subject. Okay, then the announcement here. You can go through and then please pick up the Telegram group announcement. Okay, just click here. Then please join. Okay, please join this group. I'm using Telegram group because of the solidarity for Palestine. I'm not using WhatsApp. Maybe a bit I try to transfer to Telegram, all my transaction, all my communication with the student. I'm using Telegram. Maybe lah, maybe. Right. So please join. All the update I will putting in the group. Okay. And then similar with the previous semester, all the announcement you know already. All the assessment I'm putting like this. Okay, assignment I didn't publish. If you see, this is the assignment. In my view, I just need to coordinate back with the date, and then I need to make sure that this assignment is up to date to your. Okay, for this course, starting for this semester, we don't have final exam. Okay, we title is as final assessment. So the final assessment could be possible same like final exam, maybe. Okay, final project, a short project for each of the student in your workplace. Okay, or take home exam, open book exam, or whatever possible that is appropriate with the courses, right? We just go to the syllabus here. This is the syllabus. Giving performance, improving performance, performance administration. We have to say the role, all of is in here. Okay. You scroll your URLs, go to the module. Okay, this is the course plan. Okay, this is the course plan. And then you go back to the module. Okay, this is the books that we need to go through. And go through an additional human resource summary. Okay, this is the lecture note. Below here, you can see all the lecture note. Okay. This is a video I didn't publish. If it's necessary, I will publish. Okay. And then this is all the video that is suitable to explain what is performance management, and then extra articles for you to analyze and read. And then self-learning material for this particular topics. So okay, you can click it. Okay, this is the short note for you for the today chapter. We are talking about introduction of performance, key concept of definition of the difference between performance management and performance appraisal, contribution to the employee and managers, the importance of performance management, role and application of performance management, all of the particular to the lecture one will be in this topics in this self-learning material is one of the way that to summarize whatever in the lecture and to make sure that you know what is actually on the lecture I'm talking about. I also provide you the mind mapping for the lecture. This is the mind mapping. Some of you know where does it come from, this lecture. Some of you maybe know where does it come from. I'm using a technology, I'm using the AI technology to interpret the lecture. So today we will looking on the performance management introduction of the performance management, then the key concept of definition, okay, the importance of performance management, goal and application of performance management, the performance management process, okay. Then we go to the advantages and disadvantages, case study, then the changing nature of performance management, integration with HR activity, and the conclusion. Okay, you can print this if you want to. So all of the lecture, I will provide the mind mapping and the self-learning material together with the notes. For that, can we start with the video? Right. So open it with YouTube.
Oh, the first day that we...
Do you hear that, the sound? Can you hear the sound?
Yes, Prof. Can.
Yes. Okay.
Hi, today's bite is all about performance management, what it is, why it is important, and most importantly, how to apply it to your organization. Stay tuned. Let's proceed by answering the following question. What is performance management? Performance management is a set of processes and systems aimed at developing an employee so they perform their job to the best of their ability. Performance management is not aimed at improving all skills. In fact, good performance management focuses on improving only those skills that help an employee perform their job better. This means that it is about the strategic alignment of one's work to the team and organizational goals. Because performance management is a process that aims to align individual goals with group and organizational goals, it is a strategic and formal process. This means that key individual career decisions like bonuses, promotions, and dismissals are all linked to this process. Performance management is a periodic, systematic, and objective process. What is the goal of performance management? In essence, performance management is about measuring and improving the contribution of the employee to the organization. A famous quote attributed to Peter Drucker is that if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. Or alternatively, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. Performance management is about measuring, managing, and improving the contribution of the individual to the organization. How do you do performance management? There are many ways to conduct performance management. In literature, there are two approaches when it comes to performance evaluation. One, the behavioral approach. Employees are evaluated based on their behaviors and efforts. Behaviors are identified and evaluated. This approach is suitable for giving detailed feedback on behaviors and by mapping desirable future behaviors. This approach fits when individual results are hard to measure. Examples include individual players in a team, support staff, and oftentimes HR professionals. 2, the result-oriented approach. In this approach, employees are evaluated based on objectively measured results. The focus is not on the input but output, both in terms of quality and quantity. This approach is suitable when there are multiple ways to do the job. In this case, the end result is key, not how the job was done. Examples include call center employees who have specific success metrics, as well as sales professionals. Another example is the evaluation of lawyers and accountants as they keep meticulous track of their billable hours using 6-minute intervals. A second element to focus on is extra role behavior. These are the behaviors that go beyond the job description. For more information about these, check our Employee Performance Review template article, which you can find in the video description. That's it for today's bite, in which you've learned what performance management and its purpose are, as well as how to approach it in your organization. If you're interested in gaining more in-depth know-how concerning different topics related to performance management, check out the resources I've listed for you in the video description. Remember to stay up to date with our learning bites by subscribing to our channels. And if you like this video, make sure you like and share it, and I'll see you soon in our next learning bite.
Okay, right. That is the introduction about the performance management. Hopefully you understand what is it. This is overall topic on to make sure that the employee can perform, and then development of the skill is based on the priorities of the organization to make sure they can achieve also their target, their goals. So it doesn't mean that this performance management is towards only to the employee. No, it's towards also to the employer. Because whatever skill that to be performed, whatever skill they need to upskill, maybe the staff need to improve, okay, need to develop the new skill. It depending on how the employer interpret the priorities of their successness, okay. So you can download, you can download this book, okay. I prefer you download ebook 1 and ebook 3 because the 1 and 2 is quite similar. Only the edition is different. Okay, this one is much right. So now we go to the lectures. Okay, performance management, lecture 1, introduction. This is the evaluation. Introduction. Performance management is the process that which supervisor and those they gain to understand of work expectation and goals. Work expectation meanings the organization expectation. Okay, exchange performance feedback, identify learning and development opportunity and evaluation performance result, meaning the process is going to be, there will be the from start that you recruited, they give you the offer letter, the agreement, and then the standard of job description, a specification of the job itself, and what you need to do, what the expectation behavior that the employer need, okay, and then expected result for another year. Then they will also look at what kind of activity and what kind of training and courses that is possible to be suitable for you during your tenure in your career in the organization, right? Okay, that is the performance management. This is through the process, organization will be able to create the sustained workplace environment that value continuous improvement, adapt well to change, strive, attain ambitious goal, encourage creativity, and promote learning and professional development. Engagement, you mean processes. It doesn't mean the employee only focus on your performance. The certain aspects on the working environment also will be the one of the top up situation or focus of the organization to make sure that employee can engage, can deploy whatever tasks they need to do, and they're happy to do it. Okay, in terms of definition of performance management, this is 3 terms that could be come to the, let's see here. Okay, it's 3 terms. Okay, if you want to understand more, you just copy here and then you click, and then you go to the Google search if they have. Okay, you can go to the Google search. Here's how you want to read lah, and the rest you can open any reading mode in here. Okay, Then continuous process to identify, to measure, and to develop. This is the process actually. This is the process of the performance management. You need to identify, you need to measure, and you need to develop. Okay, measuring in what? You need to identify the job expectation, what kind of task is possible to the certain employee, what kind of skill, then how, if they perform, how to measure their skill, in what kind, in what term, in what table, in what process, what is the terminology that we use in measuring the performance of the individuals in the organization. And after that, after they know they perform or not, some of them may be not performing well. Do they need to be improved? And then in performance, there are two activity to the performance, to the performance, to the underperformance. So on sense of developing activities. And the performance of individual and team, we will to interpret the performance of the individual and team itself, because some of the performance is linkage between either the task can be completed or established or accomplished by the individual itself, or does it need to be cooperated with others. Okay, that is the performance. This is all one of the process that the performance management activity need to do. You as the managers must ensure that you understand what is the step, what is the process, to make sure that each of us, if you are the managers, you know what kind of activity, what kind of project that you need to focus more to the certain and different keperluan, different profile of the certain employees. Then after you know the process, you need to align the performance with the strategic goals. You not just creating activity or event or planning for the performance of each employee. It must be aligned also with the strategic goal, with the matlamat, with the expectation of the employee. Because if the employee invests, they need something good result for their purposes. Usually the purpose of the employee to invest on the development of their employee usually is for sustainability in the industry, sustainability of the company, to get commodity advantages. Now we are talking about talent management, we are talking about human asset, human capital. So at the end of the story, they want the performance of the employee must align to the strategic goal of the organization. Right. What is the difference between performance management and appraisal? Some of you may be thought that it's the same one. Okay, performance management and appraisal is different. So we can say that performance management is the strategic business consideration. When doing the activity of performance management, we must consider also what kind of goals, what kind of priorities, what kind of strategies, what kind of what we could say as the important terms that the company use to consider on planning the performance activity development of the employees. Whereas on the performance appraisal is only derived by the planning of HR to look either the employee perform at the expectation that need to do. Okay, you can see here, performance management is beyond the job description, but appraisal is more towards the job description, JD. Yeah, I mean, driven by line manager, yes, line manager. The involvement of the line manager, the involvement of everybody, okay, which is related to the employee. Then assess employee and looking just straightforward to assess either strength and weakness of them, what kind of improvement they need to do. Okay, performance appraisal is once a year, and lack of ongoing feedback. lack of communication, lack of two-way communication. It just they appraise you, you get the result, either promoted, either perform or not. That is appraisal. It's once a year, but it's really headache sometimes to all of the system of the appraisal itself. But for performance management, it's ongoing feedback. Some of us may be calling by our superior to talking about the performance, not only once a year, maybe 2 months, 3 months. Maybe you have trouble to do things. You can come to see your supervisor or your immediate superior to talking about the performance. To look either you, whatever you do is narrowing, strengthen the and cohesiveness with the company goals and attributes. Okay. So ongoing feedback, so employee can improve performance as what they are, as what they perform, as what the skill that they have. Meaning that they are on the roadmap of the company, definitely. Okay. So to easier for us to differentiate between the performance appraisal and performance management, we need to look what did you see in the first place. What's wrong with the interaction between the supervisor and her direct report. And then it is performance appraisal, is the performance management, and why. You can see. You can see the interaction. You can see how often they come to see, they interact. So this is, you can judge what kind of the company is performing. Some of the company, most of the company are only perform the appraisal. But they don't actually managing the performance management in the company. That way, guys. Right. So you can actually change and look the difference between either the company performing anything or doing the activity of performance appraisal, or they manage themselves to do a good performance management activities. So look, you can see when you interact often with your supervisor or your immediate superior, they are maybe have um, do the activity of performance management. If the company only focus on once a year, they do only the performance appraisal. Okay. It's done already. Okay. Performance management is an ongoing process of the communication between the supervisors and employee that occur throughout a year in support or accomplish the strategic objective of the organization. So the communication process, including clarity, expectation setting, objective, identify the goal, providing feedback and result, is not only once a year. They're giving you feedback is ongoing. It's depending on the priorities. What I say is the priorities, depending on the urgencies, depending on what we can say as terms that company use. Either it's short period, the project is short, the project is ad hoc. Okay, it depends on the company itself. But it doesn't mean that the company should not doing the appraisal. It doesn't mean that it's a top up. Meaning the performance management activity, the content of the performance management is also put in the performance appraisal once a year. Okay. Why this performance management must be operate in the organization to make sure that the organization can achieve whatever goals that they want. Okay, because we are if we don't have if we have nothing to measure, we cannot actually control of it. Kalau ada sesuatu yang kita tak boleh nak ukur, macam mana kita nak mengawalnya? Betul. Okay. Managing employee performance. Okay, with the performance management activities, we can oversee performance and provide feedback. It's not an isolated event. So we focus on the manual performance review annually, or it depends on us where it's possible to meet your employees or subordinates. It is an ongoing process, and then the performance process is a cycle because varying year to year based on the changing objective. Okay, when you're talking about cycle, including planning, check-in, and review, this is the what we can say. This is not the process. This is the activity. Each of the performance management activity, they have this kind of what we call it, terminologies. This kind of cycle. Okay, this kind of cycle. In the first side, whatever activity or performance you have, you must planning it first. Period, the form, the who is responsible, what is the agendas, okay, what is the measurement, okay, you must put it in planning. When it start, okay, when it finish. Okay, to begin with the planning process, you must know, you and your employee review all over the expectation, go back to job description, whatever is important must be included, and collaborating to the development of performance objective. Individual development goals, updated. Okay, maksudnya kat sini individual development goal is not actually the new one. You can go back and look back last year performance also is one of the way on looking at the individual development goal. Okay, usually development programs, like what we call it in the organization, employee development program. Okay. Then you develop performance planning that direct to the employee effort towards achieving specific result. Okay, and then after that, the goal of the objective will be discussed, and each of us, each of the employee, and also together with the superior must be agreed. Must be agreed to the objective and goal discussed. And then go back to the meeting when you check in, we approve already to whatever agreement that is on the planning and provide a framework to ensure employee achieve result to the coaching and manual feedback. Framework. Okay, framework, it must be a system. It must be, when we're talking about the system, it must be, there must be a leader, it must be have a meeting, it must have the process learning, it must be have the timetable. That is what we call it a framework. Okay. At the end of the performance period, okay, we will review the employee performance again, expectation. Again, the expected objective. And it means that we use the behavior demonstration to achieve those goals. Still, we need to look at their behavior. Okay, we go back to the chapter of OB. Why we need to look for the behavior first? Belly, kenapa kita perlu sangat tengok kat behavior dulu? Belly, come on. Kemalia, Kemalia jawab.
Apa Prof?
Because
Ya.
sorry
Kemalia
Belly,
jawab.
tak apa, Belly pergi dulu.
Okay.
Sorry.
Why in the review we look first in the behavior first? Kenapa? Kenapa? Tak tahu. OB. Come on, Billy, come on. Oh, Billy dah pening. Okay, Kemalia? Macam mana Kemalia? Boleh jawab?
Sebab bila kita ada good behavior, especially kalau macam managers, and then kita boleh actually give a good example to our employees, so that kalau kita bagi task or ada kerja, dia orang boleh apa kata, kita boleh reach the goal lah bila kita ada good behavior.
Baik, objektif. Okay, boleh diterima. MBO.
Thank you, Prof.
Okay, the key is why we need to look for the behavior first. Okay, behavior ni action, right? That we can see day-to-day activity. What does the employee do? Then we can look the body contact, the body reaction. Malas ke tak malas kan? That is what we can see lah. We can see. So, kalau you think of framework, if you see at the framework, where does the personality come from? Personality come from by mold up from the behavior. Behavior will mold the attitude. So if we did with the staff or the employee didn't portray any good behavior, definitely the thinking, okay, the cognitive and the affective of the employee is not good enough. So from that, we can see why the attitude coming to the employee is like that, the expectation. Then we ask him why he demonstrate. Okay. Then from the behavior itself, we can predict either this person or this employee can perform well if we develop him. Boleh tak? Sebab apa? After we know the attitude, the behavior, we can transform and predict the attitude. Definitely, if we go back and perform and upskill the employee, upskill the staff, so we can mold up to the personality in the office, in the workplace that we want, that the organization want. That's why kalau you tengok some of the employee in the organization, the behavior that they portray, the behavior that they transform in the workplace is usually what the organization wants. Otherwise, we cannot establish a new objective and the new performance period. So, tak boleh nampak, tak boleh nak project anything. So that's why we need to look at the behavior. Because whatever you do, the first thing that you will see adalah body reaction, behavior implication. Okay, that's why whatever we plan, we must put it in the process first, and then you review and look on the behavior first. Then after that, you go at the fact and figures. Fact and figures, what is the performance, everything. Okay, some of the staff, they are very good in behavior, but in performance, they're very bad. The fact and figures. They're very good in public speaking, they're very good in communication, but somehow on the papers, not really performance. That is the difference. Orang yang bagus dengan behavior, it doesn't mean he good in performing something. So what kind of development that the managers need to do to upgrade for these employees? Istilah pada apa? On maybe job planning, skill of IT maybe. Okay. Okay. Needs of performance management. Why does the company need to have a good performance management? Kenapa? Okay. Dia ada banyak inilah mungkin untuk employee, for the superior, and for the organization. Jadi 3 terms. Okay. For the employee itself, for the employee to improve personal action. Okay, and we can be what we can see as increased self-esteem. Okay, we can have sense of development, self-insight. Kita boleh tahu apa yang kita buat. And then for the superior, for the employer, okay, for the employer, okay, maybe we can put it as know how to clarify job definition and criteria, clear organization goals. Okay, manager can gain insight to what is important for the company and also for the employees. So the detail of it you can go through by yourself, managing, motivate to perform. Okay, the summary of all of this, I will give it to you already, this one. Why is performance management so important? Performance management supplement to the annual performance of either to the employee and organization. You can look here. Clear organization goals. Okay, you can get development insight. You can gain some insight of your subordinate. This is all what we are talking in the performance management supplement of annual performance, to prepare both employee and managers about what to expect during the annual project. Keep both managers and employee in the loop about ongoing change to the performance management process, what both can do to streamline it. To employee, continuous performance management indicate that manager value them. So they believe that the managers are interested in their job, in their working. So the issues that they may face in occur to their job became more open and receive constructive feedback. They like the job. Between person application, okay, evaluate the performance of employee, determining compensation, promotion, rise, mutation, job rotation, and firing. Easier for us to delegate either the performance or non-performance. What kind of action that we need to do is the easiest. That's why we need to manage the performance management activity well. Within the personal application, for this performance management, so we can include feedback, individual performance through the assessment of the weak or strong point to get further identification on training needs. So we can set the point of feedback, enable the employee to develop a specific skill that required to job and career advancement. Consolidation of the goal also will give some approach to HR to oversee and preview something, have some perspective in terms of to identify the company-wide human resource approach, including strategic workforce planning, and then world identification of company-wide training needs, and also to identify the productive organizational culture and clients. Begitu. Okay. So, on research purposes, this performance management or periodic performance appraisal, what we can say as, it finally can be used to validate selection choice and evaluate training programs, either it appropriate to organization or not in long term or short term. An example in quality of hiring metric, how we do assess what kind of form, what kind of system, so you can evaluate either it's good or not, or we need to improve more. Okay. And then the degree of measurement that we use, either is satisfactory after joining, the key metric that we use in the form, okay, evaluation form. According to the researcher, especially in the first two work factors were popular, they were used by 77 of organization. Banyak. Okay, the contribution of performance management is the summary of this need of performance. Okay, we go. Berapa dah? 7:30 kita stop ya. For employee, clarity ada tadi. Clarity, job and criteria. Increase motivation. Increase self-esteem and enhance self-insight. Ada tadi dekat sana. Okay. And contribution to the managers. Communicate supervisor view. Can get some insight. Gain insight about subordinate. Communication. How to view the performance clearly. Timely differentiate between good and poor performance. You can differentiate it well. And then employee become more competent while on the way that we are planning it for them. Sekejap guys. Saya lupa punch out. And contribution to the organization and HR department. What is it? Sekejap. Okay, apa benda ni? Alright, clarity of goals tadi kita dah bagi tahu. Okay, facilitate organizational change if necessary. To what? To the culture, to the system, to the measurement format, to the influence, to the evaluators, to the training that needed, and then fairly more appropriate administrative action. What kind do we need to be delegate? Why I didn't punch? Oh, I didn't punch it. Okay, and then better protection of lawsuit. All the activity we documented, we put it in each and individual employee, one folder, one file, and periodic, what I could say as systematic filing, systematic system. Okay. This is the summary of the contribution of performance management. Okay, I didn't have a time to do mind mapping, so hopefully some of you know how to do it. Boleh ya? I think Amelia pergi training GPT tak?
Apa dia, Prof?
Amelia join tak training GPT tu? Training
Saya join, Professor. Saya join yang the GPT-4 tu.
alright, okay. Bolehlah guna interpret something whatever in here. Okay.
InsyaAllah. Terima kasih, Prof. Tapi
Okay.
saya belum subscribe lagi. Belum lagi.
Tak apa, boleh je. Okay. Guna 3.5 is okay. Boleh saja. Okay. Disadvantages and danger if poorly implemented performance management system. Bila kita, if the company ignoring on to get a good performance management. Okay, we ignore. For employees, for managers and organizations, what happen if we don't have a good, proper performance management system? The first one to the employee, low self-esteem. Low self-esteem. They think that they're not really appreciated. The company didn't concern about their performance, not didn't concern about their upskilling of their skill. Okay. Employee burnout and job dissatisfaction, damage relationship, and use of fall of misleading information. Yang ini yang teruk sikit lah. Apa maksud dekat sini guys? Okay, jawapan yang paling bagus adalah overthinking. When use of false or misleading, if you didn't have a performance management system well, the employee will lead to overthinking. This one lah. Okay. Overthinking is psychological term for the person that is no roadmap, tak ada tujuan. Okay. Another one for managers. If you don't have a poorly implemented performance management, increase turnover. There is the indication, increase turnover by the company. Decrease motivation to perform. Unjustified demand on managers' resources. Okay. Mulalah ada apa? Favoritism, ad hoc requests, yang penting. Varying and unfair standard of rating depending on who the person who is the favorite of the managers, what kind of person that is affected to be bias is coming, unfairly treated of the appraisal, ini berlaku lah. Okay. Paling banyak berlaku is most of the for the company is the favoritism and discrimination. Okay. Then for organization, for HR, waste of time and money. Need to recruit again, training again, and suddenly not happy. Okay. Unclear rating system. Okay. If you don't have performance management, look back at the company lah. Most of the company which is small, they don't have this one. Bigger, yes, they have a system, but small company usually don't have unclear rating system. Emerging the bias and increasing risk to litigation. Litigation apa guys? Litigation. Apa? Masalah apa? Litigation. Litigation ni satu benda yang kita kena elakkan. Litigation ni boleh menyebabkan, okay, is going to be happen. If it happen to the organization, it can lead to the image, what you can say, image, not failure. Risk of the image, tercela image lah. Okay. Some kind of concept of reputation. Yeah, reputation, make your reputation. Some of the businesses individual going to involve litigation can harm their reputation. Especially in the case of high profile, involve sensitive issue. Ini yang kita kena jaga, kena jaga sikit. Okay, this is the summary. Okay. Return on their degree of dependency of performance management, ini saya akan bincangkan untuk next topics. For rewards, for reward. Okay. Integration with other human resource and development activity. Why this performance management activity will be helping a lot on human resource activity. The first, performance management provide information for development of training to meet organization needs, workforce planning, recruitment and hiring decision, and also will give a good in development of compensation system. Okay, grading system, okay, workforce planning, ini yang paling susah sekali. Okay, the changing nature of performance management. We are looking in rapidly in changing to after COVID actually. The performance management they are changing a lot because due to the application of work from home. Okay, and also the supporting technology advancement, globalization, acceptance in diversity. Okay, some we could say that the demographic change in also to the our sekarang ni whoever working in KL also, if work from home is applied, I think easier for us to stay in Ipoh. Okay, so I have friends who are staying in Ipoh. Every single day he just come to the office because the work from home only twice a week. He need to come to the office. Now he doesn't need to worry to rent a house in KL. That's stay in Ipoh and working in KL. Okay, this is good actually. The nature of performance management. How this happened is I don't know how it's happened, but it happened in sudden after we get a COVID. Okay, we get a COVID. Right. Okay. Changing nature of technology. Use of cloud computing and real-time and constant feedback. Cloud computing. Now, it doesn't need thumb drive. It doesn't need anything. We just use cloud. Google Drive. We have what? We have apa tu? Apa yang dipanggil ni? I forgot the name. Microsoft. Forgot.
OneDrive.
OneDrive. Trescent, I think. Okay. Everywhere I go, I still can work because I'm using Google Drive and also I'm using apa tadi? OneDrive. Tak payah bawa thumb drive. Every single day I can work. Just open my laptop, just open my phone, tablet, anything, I can do my job easily. Okay, and then the availability of big data to ensure the electronic performance monitoring is happening. Also, if we have now a big data come from the GPT, global generating, I forgot the name of the term of GPT. We have GPT technology in the system. You can derive and to get the big data to make sure that we can easily performing our job well. Okay, facilitating by the big data come from the AI. So we can work at real time. We can do virtualization, meeting. Okay, and then increase prevalence of virtual team located across the world. Okay, we need to consider local norm, including societal and organization culture issue also. Then retirement of baby boomers and influx of Gen X and Y. Baby boomers is retired already. Is Gen X. Saya Gen X. All of you maybe Gen Y. Okay. Below 2000 is Gen X. After 2000 is Gen Y. Okay. Baby boomers is 1990s and below. 1990 ke bawah. No, sorry. Baby boomers is 80s and below, lah, tahun 80-an ke bawah. Okay, when you want to project these baby boomers, you must look at what is the time they're working, what is the years that they start to work, not the years that they are born, no, the years that they start to work. Okay, why I'm baby boomer lah rasanya. Saya bekerja I'm working start on 1998. 1998 I start working after recession. Millennial in the workforce. Okay, some of the stereotypes associated with the millennial and how could they manage them. Okay, millennial ni orang yang demanding, which they are certainly harm to the particular engagement. Ni ada sedikit lah tentang millennial ni. They have research has been done a lot. Tengok boleh buka tak? Cuba lah.
Let me show you how we do stuff in action. Well, marathon is
Buka
Give me a breakdown. It's a B2B company that provides cloud storage for Fortune 500.
So Marathon Industries, give me a breakdown.
It's a B2B company, provides cloud storage, Fortune 500.
Chad, what did the market research turn up?
What? Oh, I Googled them, but the results were weird.
You didn't use the market research database that we spent thousands of dollars a month on and that you were specifically trained to use.
I quit. This job is different than I thought it would be. Stop. Does this situation look familiar? A new type of worker has entered the workforce. They're called millennials. They're terrible. Today, I'm going to teach you all about this new breed of worker so you can avoid misunderstandings in which you feel the need to fire them immediately. In the first reimagination we just saw, Mary makes the classic mistake of not reassuring Chet while offering overflowing amounts of praise.
Chad, you were so smart to use Google. That's the perfect way to start the research. You're so smart.
Great job. So the conference call is scheduled for 10:30. So we're on the same page. Let's do a pre-call about 9:30 a.m.
I don't understand. Noodles. Not 9:30.
Daryl Sandberg here isn't aware time exists before 10:30 a.m. In her generation, there's a mysterious dead zone after 4 a.m. and before they stroll into work 40 minutes late with their iced coffee. So take that into consideration for scheduling.
That's very difficult.
Fine, I'll take the call myself.
Oh, thank you.
Nailed it.
That report that you asked.
Morgan did exactly what was asked of her, nothing more, nothing less. She expects a raise and promotion.
Thanks. Junior Executive Manager of Data Consulting. Is that better than Assistant Manager of Junior Accounts? Yes. Oh my God, thank you. I'm gonna call my parents.
Now you're getting it. I need to take work off tomorrow for a mental health day. Did you know millennials can actually be exceptionally creative with reasons why they need to miss work? These eccentric excuses are normal to them, and they will be to you too.
Sure, that's a normal thing.
Hi, I know I only get 10 days paid vacation, but that wouldn't count a 3-week Argentinian surf spirit quest, right?
No, why would it?
Oh,
Why don't you go home early today?
That's it. Any questions? Why even hire millennials? Oh, right. Well, millennials comprise 19% of the workforce. If none of them worked and their parents supported them, it would cripple our economy and China would take over. So unfortunately, it's your civic duty to employ them. Trust us, we want to fire them all too, but we can't.
Okay, right. That is the situation of the millennial now. Some of you may be facing this kind of attitude, not attitude, behavior. Okay, they are very demanding. They need to be scheduled. Some of them not really in the mood of working. The way appearance that they, baju semua. So, maybe you experience it. Some of you, okay, if you are the managers, if you are the executive or the superior for the subordinate, which is the millennial. Probably you have trouble on need to be considered certain terms. Okay? Mengalah tu kena banyak. Faham kot? Okay. Factors that influencing performance management on implementation. The first one is legislation. We need to go look at the law, look at the enactment, look at the ATA. Okay. Competition also, you need to consider. Okay, some of us needs or need to get a right person in the workforce that are somehow not really trusted, not really come to the extent all the resume that come to us, maybe there is something fraud about it. So you need to do the due diligence well. Taxation, government policies. Now we have government policy that encourage us to employ B40 status of the workforce, okay, to inculcate economic boost up. Okay, changing business environment, driving force, and restraining forces. Okay, some government policy will be trap us or will be encouraging us. Changing customer requirement also is one of the philosophers that need to be focused also. Okay. So strategic business consideration will be one of the most that we need. Either the performance management, it must be managed well. So the first drive by line manager and ongoing feedback. So employee and can be improved well in order to make sure organization can meet what they expected to achieve. Okay, so we finish our session today. Thank you very much. Izzah lambat. Macam mana boleh lambat tu? Macam mana boleh lambat?
Saya tadi kan ingatkan tak ada kelas lepas tu saya baru pindah. Dah tak ada kelas, saya simpan lah laptop, charge semua turun bawah. Naik-naik tengok, ya Allah.
Tak apa, recording ada.
Kesian saya, terpedaya.
Terpedaya. Saya masa saya nak tutup tu, tiba-tiba dia buka pula.
Sebab saya bagi tahu Azaim, saya kata kenapa SKC macam ni.
Tak apalah, biarlah. First class is simple lah. Okay, I calling again. Fifi Natasha, are you there? Tak ada, excuse lah.
Ada, sir.
Izzah ada?
Ada, sir.
Kamaru Anwar? Tak apalah, excuse lah. Hari pertama. Farhanti? Excuse lah. Nur Anissa? Okay, Ismarizal? No Fatihah? Sazwani?
Dia ada, sir.
Ada, sir.
Sazwani ada?
Ada. Dia masuk tadi. Lepas tu, dia tengah
Fatihah,
kerja sebenarnya.
Ya ke?
Fatihah pun ada.
Fatihah ada?
Syazana ada, sir.
Okay, Sazana ada. Mana Sazana?
Bawah.
Ah,
20. Ha.
Weakness
Thank
Mariam?
you.
There? Weakness
Tu tak
Mariam?
tahu.
Ismarizal? Ismarizal masuk tak tadi? Anissa masuk? Tak tahu Saya nak hantar ni. Apalah, saya hantar dululah. Whatever.
Nama saya ada tak, sir? Nama saya?
Siapa?
Fatihah.
Ya.
Ya, okay, thank
Itu
you.
tak boleh saya check sebelah sana kejap ni.
Sir, nak tanya je, sir. Since saya dapat in a nutshell, semester ni ada exam tak?
Final exam tak ada, tapi final assessment. There
Ada.
will be different lah. Either I give you a project. Ali Iqbal ada kejap. Ali Iqbal ada? Ada pula. Apalah, first day. Excuse me lah. Boleh. Okay. On final assessment, I can either give many way on final assessment, or either I give you final exam, same, okay, same like this, okay, but there is no responders. No need for responders for final exam. Okay. But there is the Turnitin lah. Okay. And then lagi satu. Guna ni. Responders. Take home exam. Open book exam. Project papers for special project papers for you. Or I just give you one big case study, you write the case study. That is the way on assessing lah. Many things, many assessment lah. Okay, boleh faham
Okay, boleh.
Okay.
Harap-harap assessment tu tak adalah sampai susah.
Nanti kita buat ni lah, saya buat pool lah, saya buat pool lagi. Kalau boleh lah buat pool. Okay, Kamarul Anwar ada lagi? Ada di sana? Tak ada. Farhanti? Tak ada. Anissa? Nur Anissa? Esma Rizal? Dan Weakness Warren? Tak ada. Okay, saya padam. Okay, thank you very much to all of you. Kita jumpa lagi next week.
Alright, sir. Thank you.
Okay, jumpa lagi next week. Hari yang sama, waktu sama. Kelas kita
Thank you,
akan habis.
Professor.
Okay, alright. See you all. Okay,
Thank you,
selamat.
Prof.
Selamat berweekend. Mesti weekend. Okay, esok jangan WhatsApp saya. Esok saya masuk ward. Ya. Saya masuk ward 2 hari. Dan hari Rabu bolehlah WhatsApp saya. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, Prof. Get well soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Prof. Waalaikumsalam. Take care.